My friends, it's happening again. YouTube has changed the algorithm and they are removing subscribers from my channel at a ridiculous rate. At this moment, you may have been unsubscribed from my channel without any warning or notification. So I'm asking you to please make sure that you are still subscribed and have the notification bell selected so you'll receive updates when I post videos. And if you are not subscribed, please take a moment and do so. Help us keep fighting this war to save pop culture from the predations of cultural vandals and the wokeness of these corporations. We are winning this war as more companies turn away from wokeness, but the price of freedom is eternal vigilance, and we must all band together to stop this onslaught against Western civilization. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you would. And now, on to the video. Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, and as you can see, Kathleen Kennedy was hiding under my bed this morning. I asked her what the hell she was doing under my bed, and she said she was going to turn me into a chick and make me gay, then put me in her latest Star Wars Rey movie. She then rubbed her magic Panderverse stone, stolen from the Disney vaults, and although we were all transported into an alternate universe where we're all animated cutouts, fortunately we have so much testosterone and male toxicity, she was unable to turn us into gay women. But I am feeling a wee bit two-dimensional now.
How do you think I feel, Doomcock? I was going to escape my containment field and destroy your world, but now that your world is just a bunch of damn paper, I don't need to stomp it, I just need a bucket of water. What the hell fun is that? Curse you, Kathleen Kennedy! At least we haven't been replaced by chicks. In your case, how do we know, Skull of Calderon? A chick skull is a dude skull, but wherever your body is right now, it might have boobies. Your body could be at a Justin Bieber concert right now, jumping up and down. Boing, boing. You could be a believer now, asshole. And with your silly high-pitched voice, who would know if you had been transitioned, Harvey? Or should I say, Harriet? You son of a bitch! Respect my authority!
Enough of your witless prattle. Nobody panic. Omnivac even now is working hard on getting us back to our normal three-dimensional state. But in the meantime, let's review the abject humiliation and degradation of Kathleen Kennedy and the Walt Disney Corporation in South Park joining the Panderverse. My friends, let me tell you, this was the vindication the Fandom Menace was looking for. All along, we have pointed out the abject absurdity of woke Disney's cultural vandalism. The woke formula is very simple. Take iconic male heroes in movies and do one of four things to them. Replace them with women, replace them with minorities, humiliate them and make them sidekicks to superior female characters, or just make them and/or the women who replace them gay. It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but instead of pods replacing people, Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger are replacing people with woke analogs whose whole point is degrading and overriding something all of them hate, American culture and Western civilization. So we get shit like women replacing the Ghostbusters, Rey replacing Luke Skywalker, Mikey Spock being the bestest captain ever, and replacing all of the other captains that went before her in terms of excellence. There is an essential hatred of straight white males in woke movies and shows, and while this is happening all over Hollywood and is not limited to Disney, Disney gets bent over the sink and takes it like a rat in what can only be called an evisceration in South Park joining the Panderverse.
Any way you cut it, this was hilarious stuff, Doomcock. Although some of the fans are complaining that it also made fun of fans.
We'll get to that in a moment, Harvey Cthulhu. I want to discuss some of the criticism of this South Park installment, but for now I want to do a quick summary of the show, not going into too much detail because everyone should see it for themselves. I'm going to give a review and then discuss some of the controversial aspects of it in the fandom. In this episode, Cartman is having nightmares that Kathleen Kennedy is lurking under his bed, ready to turn him and all his friends into diverse women. as seen here. Cartman, like all of us, has noticed how lazy and stupid Disney is, turning every single franchise into a twisted parody of itself, either degrading and trivializing all the male icons of the past, or killing them and or replacing them with females, or just turning them all gay. Disney and Kathleen Kennedy have done this over and over and over again to the point that it's become a joke. And South Park has now struck a blow for the Fandom Menace and for Western civilization, and publicly mocked the mouse in a massive truth bomb that detonated across screens this past Friday. While this is not the first time South Park has messed with the mouse, this could not have come at a better time in the culture wars, my friends. This kind of wide exposure is exactly what is needed to alert more casual viewers, normies, and whatnot to what we've known since 2016. Pop culture is under attack by extremist ideologues who are attempting to use the mass media to brainwash their way to a woke world, altering society one young mind at a time. In this episode, Cartman gets sucked into the woke universe he dreaded, where all of his friends have been turned into stunning and brave, diverse women, and his counterpart trades places and is popped into the South Park universe. Meanwhile, a tyrannical Kathleen Kennedy has been destroying Disney one cinematic bomb after another, yelling at everyone to
put a chick in it and make her gay.
Meanwhile, and South Park acknowledges this in a hilarious sequence that had to hurt Disney vicious bad, Disney's stock continues to drop, and it shows a hapless Bob Iger falling down into a red pit of lost company value and plummeting stock. There's a B-plot in the show where all the college-educated professionals realize they can't fix or do anything in the non-academic world, and handymen are getting rich and taking over. And while that's an excellent storyline as well, we won't get too much into that. Folks, this may well represent yet another tipping point in the war to save pop culture, because when things get so bad that South Park sets their sights on it and proclaims the truth to the world, you know that Disney and Hollywood have gone too far and the tide of battle is turning.
It's true, dude. Disney has gone so far down the woke bit hole, they've become a parody of themselves. And the thing of it is, the best weapon we have against wokeness is humor, because the woke have no sense of humor at all, and they can't defend against it, and they can't reply with humor of their own. They're helpless in the face of laughter, and everyone is laughing at Disney now. Did you see how low their stock closed this Friday after South Park came out? They blame it all on Kathleen Kennedy, and yet Doomcock. There are troubling signs in this South Park. I shall give a brief spoiler necessary for the discussion. In the end, it turns out that the real Kathleen Kennedy was also sucked into the woke dimension, just like the real Cartman was. So all the idiocy from Kennedy was her evil universe duplicate. Isn't this letting Kennedy off the hook?
Of course not, Skull of Calderon. People who say this are actually confusing the cartoon with reality. Folks, in real life, there is no alternate universe Kathleen Kennedy. There's just Kathleen Kennedy, and the type of things they're mocking in this episode are all things Kennedy and or Disney have done in real life. They kind of let KK off the hook in the cartoon, but not in real life, where she actually has done the kinds of things they're mocking her about. She doesn't have that excuse for her obsessions. There is no alternate KK with or without a goatee. Only the real KK, sans goatee, and the things she's done indeed do suck, in my opinion, and in the opinion of vast hordes of fans, and apparently in the opinion of South Park itself.
But Doomcock, there are those saying that Cartman in this episode is actually parodying the Fandom Menace. That South Park was making fun of the Fandom Menace.
South Park makes fun of everything, Harvey. Fans of the show know that South Park holds nothing sacred. They almost always skewer both sides of any argument. We can't be as obnoxious and easily offended as the snowflake SJWs, whining and pissing because they made a joke about us. Look at the vast majority of the episode where they viciously attack Disney. They flat out state that the latest string of Disney shows stink. They flat out say it. You think Disney wants that publicly admitted and harped on? They call attention to Disney stock plummeting, and they have a huge audience, a massive megaphone. Do you think Disney is happy about that? They make fun of Cartman a bit, yeah, trying to be balanced, maybe so they don't get sued, I'm not sure. But that's a tiny mockery compared to slinging truth bomb after truth bomb about the woke Disney Corporation. And in this episode, Kennedy wasn't replaced all along. It was a more recent thing that she had been replaced, so the blame for the bulk of her mistakes, even in the cartoon, are laid squarely at her feet. Anyone who can't see that needs to watch the episode again, because they're having an understandable emotional reaction to even the slightest mockery of the Fandom Menace in the person of Cartman. But I ask you, who got it worse in this episode? Disney, hands down.
Alert, alert. I have calculated the necessary equations to return us all to our third-dimensional reality. Executing program in 3, 2, 1, execute.
Hey, I'm back to my ever-loving 3D self again. As am I, oh fraptious day, Kalu Kale.
It's good to be back to my evil self again. Let's wrap this up before we backslide into the second dimension. South Park joining the Panderverse is an epic smackdown of the woke Disney Corporation, and while its satirical buckshot blast does hit a few of us with some random pellets, on the whole, this was so vicious and told such harsh truths. The embarrassment of Disney and the attendant increased awareness of the woke menace to the public at large may represent a tipping point in the war on woke, because they deployed the most powerful weapon of all, laughter.
Hey, Doomcock, they killed Skull of Calderon.
You bastards!
Very funny.
Ha 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 ha.